Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are a bit more casual in the woods, sitting on the bench. I thought I would tell you all about my newest shoot that I'm going to be showing you in this video. We did this really cool photo shoot in the flowers during the Superbloom in California. If you're not familiar, Superbloom happens every 10 to 15 years. It's pretty unusual, but when it rains a lot, there's a lot of flowers that bloom everywhere in California, and I was lucky enough to be here for a Sony event actually, so I ended up being able to experience it myself. So I thought that I would take you through the photo shoot, talk to you about everything that happened on the day and how everything went. I will also be showing you how I edited using the Retouch for Me software. I did it before and you guys really liked it, so I wanted to do it again. This video is in collaboration with Retouch for Me. I thought I would mention that, and I am really happy to be working with them because I love their software and I use it all the time. So before we get into this video, make sure to subscribe to my channel and click the little bell button to not miss any of my future uploads, and let's get right into the video. I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I'm an avid flower lover, and whenever I have an opportunity to shoot with some flowers, I will absolutely take it. When I was planning this photo shoot, I was kind of faced with a few challenges. First thing first, I am not California local. I have no idea where to go. I don't know where the Superbloom is. So I had to definitely do some research. I looked around on Facebook groups. I spoke to some friends about it. And I ended up finding this really random location in the middle of nowhere. When I said that to my model, she was really concerned, and so was I, because I had no idea where I'm going. And it was like, yeah, you know, we're gonna drive 2 hours, hope for the best. Hopefully it's going to be there. It's just a random field behind like a housing estate, you know, nothing to worry about. When we were driving, I was a bit concerned because there was not a single flower in sight. There was nothing for 2 hours straight. There was like maybe occasional flower here and there, but I was like, that's it. It's not gonna happen. So it's something that you have to consider. We were kind of very open-minded about it. We were like, well, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. We both really wanted the photos of the flowers, but we knew that it might not happen just because we didn't know where to go. And that's part of it. You have to kind of, you know, just deal with it and just see how it goes. Traffic was getting considerably worse and worse as we were driving, so we ended up taking forever actually doing it. However, we did finally make there, and it was actually there. It was literally a field behind a housing estate. Nobody was lying here. It was literally just this tiny dirt road that you go up and you park your car, and the field is right there, and then there's a lot of houses around it. So you have to be pretty strategic with your viewpoints and how you shoot and what you capture. However, you could also kind of see the mountains in the background, which I thought was super cool. They weren't very big and they weren't like super grand looking or anything, but they were there, which was pretty cool. One thing that I want to mention is that we went out of our way not to step on any flowers. I think it's so important when you're taking photos in nature, especially at an event like this, that you respect the nature around you. So we only stuck to the beaten paths that were like already out there. It was pretty easy to do. There was a lot of paths around. There was lots of like little walkways and stuff even throughout the flowers. So it wasn't really a big deal, but it was really important to just respect that and just not walk all over the flowers. The main idea behind the shoot was to find as many flowers as possible. I wanted to make it look very lush and green. And as you can kind of see on the footage, there were definitely flowers, but there was also a lot of background that I didn't really want. Photoshop beta was not a thing yet, so I couldn't really just add the background. So I did my best to just work with my angles and try and figure out where to shoot and how to shoot it. So there were elements that I shot that were a bit more like above my model, so I could shoot down into all the flowers. I was using my Sony A7R IV and 24-70. I was shooting on 2.8. I wish I had like a lower f-stop, maybe like f2 or f1.4 on something. Unfortunately I didn't, but it still gave me a really nice blurred background, so I wasn't really complaining. Towards maybe the second half of the shoot, the light got really beautiful and goldeny, and it was so nice. Unfortunately, again, my model was absolutely shivering. You can see her doing jumping jacks throughout the shoot. It was rough. It was definitely rough. It was one of the roughest shoots I've done in a while. I have to say, like, I'm used to doing this kind of stuff in Ireland back in the day, but I haven't done it in a while, and as I said, even I was struggling, and I was severely more dressed than my model was, so I felt really bad for her. She was really a trooper. Just want to be warm. I love this coat. Hi. He's like, the main idea behind the photo shoot was to capture the beautiful golden light together with the poppies, because that's the flowers that we had. The poppies are very beautiful and orange, so I think together with the sunset it just gave such a nice vibe that I absolutely love. I think it was just such a beautiful shoot, other than the extreme cold that we had to deal with. I really wish it was at least 10 or 15 degrees warmer, and I think it would have made it so much better. One thing that is super important to consider is your model's comfort in this kind of situation. I know it's kind of easy to just look past it when you're the one that is fully dressed and comfortable. However, when your model is really cold and really uncomfortable, it's going to show on photos and you're just not going to get what you want. And sometimes there's just nothing you can do about it. You know, we were really pushing through. She was really brave. She was really bracing the cold. However, there's only so much you can do. So we ended up shooting for maybe 20 minutes, which was really sad because we drove so far to see it, and we were there when the light was turning the most beautiful. Literally, as we were walking away, the light was just so gorgeous, but there was just no way in hell she would be able to shoot any longer. And situations like this can be really frustrating, especially from a perspective of a photographer, because you don't have full control over what's happening, and of course you would like to get the best photos possible. Sometimes you just have to work with it, and it's not always ideal. You won't always get what you want, but you just have to get what's given to you and just work with it. You know, that's the reality. We don't always get the perfect conditions. When I was working in Ireland, that was one of the biggest things that I usually struggled with. You know, I used to have really bad weather most of the time, because working in Ireland, it's kind of like working in Seattle. It's mostly overcast and it's mostly rainy, so if you're hoping for really sunny, beautiful images, you don't get it majority of the time, and you just have to kind of be okay with it and get used to it and work around it and find other ways to make your photos look good, because you just can't have it all sometimes. So I am still really happy with how the photos turned out. Now I'm going to show you how I edit them using Retouch for Me. As you guys know, I used some of the Photoshop beta to add a bit of the background in the shot to make it a bit more interesting, because as you see here, the background was kind of blown out a little bit originally, and I thought it would just look way nicer with the Photoshop generative fill. So that's why I did it. But now I'm going to talk to you about the editing itself. We did some skin, we did some eye fixing, and a few other things in the program, and I'll be walking you through it. So let's get right into it. Okay, so this is the photo we're going to be working with today. As you see, my model has really good skin. However, there is some imperfections and unevenness in the skin. There's a little bit of dark circles that we want to get rid of, and we want to kind of tackle that first. We have some redness in the eyes, some eye vessels, so we're going to remove it as well. We're going to go into Retouch for Me, Dodge and Burn first, and even out the skin. So this is it. We can increase or decrease the blend. As you see here, this shows you which areas are dodged and burned. So you can just kind of work with that. If you don't want to have an area selected, like for example the nose, you can always just deselect it as so, just using the eraser tool, basically just to make sure that you have the details that you want. So let's do it like this. So now we have a bit more dimension while we're kind of evening out the skin tones way more, so we can blend even a tiny bit higher. So we can just go 200 and then we're going to apply. So as you see straight away, there's a huge difference. And now if you want to go again, if you're not satisfied with how fixed it is, you can just go again, dodge and burn, and run it once more, and this way you're going to get even smoother skin with still quite a lot of texture, which is good. As you see here, again, we're probably going to get rid of the nose because we want to have some details there. And let's see, much better. Original preview, so you can kind of see what's changed. Maybe we can lessen the blend this time a little bit and just go for maybe like 150 or something. As you see, we still have a good amount of skin detail, which is great. This is the original. Next, we're going to go into eyes, and we're going to use the eye vessel filter. And as you see, it got rid of all the vessels in the eye, which is super helpful. Next, we're going to go into eye brilliance, which is going to make our eyes even brighter. As you see here, now the eyes are super bright, so we don't necessarily want that. You can go super extreme, which is not really what we're going for. But as you see, you can give them a tiny bit of a lift and just make them pop a little bit more. And finally, we're going to use one more. We're going to go into skin tone and see if there's anything that we can fix there or even it out a little bit more. And as you see here, there's some elements of the dress that got selected, so we can use the eraser tool to just get rid of these areas for us. And as you see here, we can adjust the blend so it can be a bit less green, a little bit more green. I kind of like it in the middle, maybe like around 100. Okay, we're going to apply. And now for the final little preview. As you see, this is the original and this is the edit. It took me approximately 2 minutes and I got really great natural results. Here's another example that I want to show you. It's a portrait that I took of Colleen. We're going to do heel first, and this is going to get rid of any imperfections. She has pretty good skin, so I don't think there's going to be a lot, but as you see, it picked up a few little tiny spots, so we're going to apply. Next, we're going to go to dodge and burn, and as you see here, it's a pretty drastic difference already. And what I also wanted to mention is like you can create a soft light layer if that's something that you use for your dodge and burn. I don't really need it, so I'm going to keep it deselected, but it is an option if you want it. And this shows you what was selected here for the dodge and burn. As you see, it's pretty intense. Might run it again just for the sake of it, and again I might just grab a little eraser and just select around the nose so it's a bit more natural looking and it's not as blurred out. That's pretty good. We're going to apply. As you see here, straight away, pretty big difference. Okay, once we have that, we're going to go into, again, eye vessels. Next, we're going to go to eye brilliance. We can brighten the eyes really nicely. I'm going to make them a little bit brighter, like so. Okay, next on, we're going to do the skin tone. This is going to be especially helpful because as you see here, originally the tip of the nose is slightly bit more red than the rest of the image. So by increasing the blend to maybe around 85, 90, it eliminates the redness in the nose, which is really nice. Finally, we're going to go into portrait volumes and select that and just add a bit more definition to the face as well. This can be pretty extreme, so do not go crazy on this. We're going to go maybe blend 10 at best. And as you see, it just adds a very slight contouring to the face as well. Here is a quick before and after. It's quite a huge change in a matter of a few clicks, if you ask me. Okay guys, this is for today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me in the forest and looking at the photo shoot. I hope you enjoyed the photos. I hope you liked how they looked. If you did like this, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time. So I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I'm an avid flower lover.